INJ or Injective could be one of the biggest gainers of Q2 2023. Stay to the end of the video to find out why. Let's take a look at INJ or Injective Protocol, because it could potentially be one of the biggest gainers of Q2. It's got a ton of releases on the horizon, but let's understand a little bit more about it. It's currently got a market cap of 555 million, sitting 73rd in the overall crypto rankings. Injective is a blockchain built for finance. It is an open, interoperable, layer 1 blockchain powering the next generation DeFi applications, including decentralized spot and derivatives exchanges, prediction markets, lending protocols, and more. But what makes it truly unique is Injective provides the most advanced next generation financial infrastructure for building DeFi applications on top of the Injective blockchain. Users can access these applications in a fully decentralized, fast, cross-chain, low-fee, and secure manner. Now that you have a bit of a grasp of what INJ is and what it does, let's take a little look at some of the analysis. As you can see on here, we have 7 things that we need to be mindful of from a technical analysis standpoint. But first of all, let's take a look at what brought us to this chart and why INJ might be one of the biggest gainers of Q2. As you can see on this chart right here, we've got a couple of announcements or upgrades or releases that are going to be coming out in Q2. So around releases and upgrades and all this kind of business, there is always marketing, there's always push, there is always excitement. However, we can have a little look at some other stuff. Check out all of this stuff that is coming out on the INJ or Injective protocol. It's kicking off with the two main ones. We've got the Casablanca upgrade and the Injective exchange module. And this is happening in Q2. And just to remind you guys that Q2 is over in about 6 weeks. So we have till the end of June. So like I said, we're looking at about 6 weeks until we are there. So in the next 6 weeks, we could see these dropping. And then, of course, it follows straight into Q3 with an Injective orbital chains, and then in Q4 with Caracosa upgrade, and it continues into Q4 with the mesh chain network, Q1 of 2024 with multi VM chains and Volan upgrade. So there is a bunch of stuff on the horizon. Now, what is nice about this with such consistent and loads of announcements is you don't have to worry too much about buying the rumor and selling the news, because this is just pretty much ongoing. So what else do we need in order to enter this kind of signal and look for further confirmation? Well, we want to do a little bit of technical analysis to make sure that we're not entering in the worst possible time. Stick around and I will give you the exact entries of what I would recommend moving into this. So the first thing it is triggering us at the moment, that is wrong. We have not a bullish signal and bearish signal. There we go. Getting my bulls and bears mixed up. There we go. So we have a bullish signal right here, and this is provided by our proprietary indicator, the block party indicator, which you can get your hands on no problem. Just check out our website at blockpartytrading.com. And these things are super strong. They're just gold for trading. But yeah, we have a signal, so we're going to start to pay attention to this. But we want to do a little bit of more technical analysis to make sure that it is totally valid. You shouldn't really ever enter just one signal. I mean, granted, this does cover a whole bunch of confluences in the background, but why not do a little bit more analysis when you can? We also have an untested weekly pivot right here, which is signified by the indicator, and that draws that on automatically. These things, when they're not filled, have such a high chance of getting filled. So we can see that the price will likely pump up at least 7%, which is a good start. We also have this real key distinct resistance, which is now support, and we've broken back through that, bounced and bounced up again. So we can see that we might be holding a very strong support here. Another key one as well is we've broken the daily exponential moving average and actually also the 50 daily exponential moving average. On the oscillator, we can check on down here on the cumulative volume data. We've got a very distinct breakout of the trend line there, which is such a strong signal. And then, not to mention, we actually have another, we can even extend this as far back as here, breakout on the resistance for the CVD and also a retest, which is piling back up. We're not overbought just yet, so it actually gives us plenty of room to grow. And then there is always the downside. So unfortunately, we never get 100% of signals in one direction. If we did, trading would be so great and so easy, but we don't. So we do need to be mindful of what resistances and blockades stand in our way. And there is one, which we do have a local resistance. Now, we tested it today and got a bit of a sharp rejection. But that's not unsurprising because I do feel as though we will probably end up coming back down here and retesting this support. Not guaranteed, but we may do. And we could head on upwards. But we do also have plenty of time to not worry about it too much. But I can hear you shouting, what are the targets? Where are we going? Well, to make it very easy for you, this is where I would be looking at placing my targets. I enter all my trades with 1-to-1 as a bit of a starter. And my target will always sit with the stop loss below the most recent, or at least the most prominent swing low or swing high. Now, since this is a long, we're going to be looking at the swing lows, as we can see just here, as this will offer a very nice key line of support pretty naturally. Give yourself a little bit of room below that so you don't get tagged straight on it. And once, if it does crash through, then it's likely to continue going. So that's what it's there for, to save you a little bit more heartache. Now, with so much going on in the next, year, I guess, for INJ, it is quite exciting, so you can extend this much further. However, this is what I'm looking for at the moment. Like I said, I'm going with a 1-to-1 risk-reward, which works out quite nicely as we have some pretty significant resistances coming up just here and also here. So we really do want to be out of the trade before we start to hit those. Now, again, if you are trading for a long-term hold and hodl, then just set up a DCA structure and buy, even if it does break this support just here. Not the end of the world, because we've got so many fundamentals and announcements going on. There is such a high chance that this thing will raise back up. Anyway, guys, that's the lowdown, the squibble on INJ. If you love this content, which I'm sure you do, give the subscribe button a little boop. And also, if you want to check out some of our premium stuff, then head on over to blockpartytrading.com. See ya!